If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi and welcome back to Courtside Financial. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos, and also make sure you hit that like button because it really does go a long way in helping out the channel. So today I'm going to talk about the used cars in China. In doing so, I'm going to talk about NIO, and then I'm going to talk about another car company in China called UXIN. So it's currently 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. So in regards to talking about NIO, I want to talk about the used car program again very briefly. So for starters, I read a Bloomberg article yesterday, and it said that China wants their used car market to be a $306 billion used car market by 2025, which would be a 2x from what it is today. So China wants to double the value of the second-hand vehicle market by 2025. Now, why was this interesting to me? Because I instantly thought about companies like Vroom, Carvana, and other things of that such that are happening here in America. But also when I think about it, if people do start saving money on buying secondhand cars, what happens with the rest of that money? Where does it go? It comes back into the economy. So I just wanted to research this and kind of see what connections could be made and if there's any type of opportunities to follow the policies that they're putting in place. The UXIN company, so we'll get to that a little bit later in this video, and obviously I'm American, so somebody please correct me down below in the comments if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. So yes, like I mentioned, those used car companies in the US have been doing very well. So I wanted to know what the market would be like in China, considering that I'm invested in NIO, and NIO just made an investment into selling used cars, and their used car program has recently launched. I talked about that in a later video, so if you missed that, feel free to go through the channel and catch yourself up. So of the 270 million plus vehicles on the road today, only 15 million of those came from China's used car sales last year. That's about 5.5%. So if China's pushing an agenda for used cars and only 5.5% of the cars on the road are from last year's sales, then there has to be a lot of growth moving forward, is something that I instantly thought. So from knowing this, you can understand why NIO would want to make the investment into used cars. And of course, to incentivize used cars, the government cut taxes on them. So Beijing, where used cars used to be taxed at 3%, used car sales 3%, now they're actually 0.5%, as opposed to buying a new car, which is going to run you 17%. So any consumer who's financially savvy, which one will they pick? Will they pick to be taxed at 0.5%, or will they pick to be taxed at 17%? From this perspective, I put myself in the shoes of the consumer. I'm obviously going to go with the used car. After all, it's a depreciating asset. On top of that, China will classify used cars without license plates as commodities rather than assets, which makes it easier for dealers to trade. So many people wonder, why is China's used car market so small? Well, China's overall car market is pretty small. The government didn't start encouraging the sale or ownership of private vehicles until basically 1984. So obviously in the US, cars go way back, to Henry Ford and the assembly line. So the US has a pretty rich history in cars, and other nations are pretty much ahead of China as well. So yes, we say China has the biggest EV market all the time, but don't let that fool you. China, and its population in Shanghai is about 24 million people. Of those 24 million people, 200,000 people get licenses every year. And of those 200,000 people that get licenses every year, only about 80,000 are able to afford a car. So the people who own cars in China is way smaller than around the world. Only 173 out of 1,000 people in China own a car. The market's still developing, but it's growing, and with that, the used car market should grow as well, given these incentives that the government is placing on used cars as well. The next reason that people typically haven't bought used cars, even though there's economic savings, according to Bloomberg, is because of cultural reasons. Getting a car in China culturally symbolizes that your family has arrived, so many people don't want to appear as if they've cheaped out on used cars. As time passes, we know that things change. Overspending on a new car is becoming less and less popular. People would rather do what makes more financial sense. So there's likely to be a lot of demand for used cars from everything that I've researched. Well, how do I make this information actionable? There's this used car company in China that a lot of people know called UXIN.
优信二手车网上商城更省心，20万辆优信认证好车，视频看车，315项检测，真实车况，30天包退，1年全国联保。优信二手车网上商城大平台更省心。
It's super important that you do your own research and come to your own conclusions. This is a risky stock by way of market cap, but they really need to get this this online business that they switched to running and optimal. The numbers are just too small right now. Otherwise, they're going to have to raise capital again, and I do see them raising capital again. But I do also see them benefiting from the policies and regulations that China is putting in place in terms of used cars. And obviously, I think there's a lot of growth to come from that over the next decade. And of course, by 2025, they want to double the used car market in China and pretty much build it from scratch. So I do think that there is a lot of upside in a company like this. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll link the Discord in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.